Welcome back to Surviving Mars. My name is Tobal. We just launched a new passenger rocket to bring some more people in to our wonderful colony. I actually wound up having a ton of engineer and geologist type of applicants. So that's going to really help fill out some of the jobs we have open, like our newer machine parts factory, of course, which we have put down in the new dome. I think all this stuff should be finished up by the time our passenger rocket gets here. So I'm pretty excited about that. I even might look into opening another raw or rare metals extractor somewhere. Again, I'm still trying to debate about if I should go all the way over here to drop down a tunnel or not. It's something I really am interested in. I think it's going to be very beneficial. The only downside is all of the machine parts it needs right now. So hopefully, if we can get a ton of people at the machine parts factory pumping out those, we would be, fine to just kind of experiment and mess around with some tunnels. Meanwhile, we got printed electronics as a breakthrough. This is a random thing, I think. This is a drone prefabs to be constructed in the drone assembler using metals instead of electronics. That would be actually really, really cool. I'm going to wait for a bit, though, because we still have a ton of research queued up in front of us, especially domeless farming, which is going to be kind of a pain in the butt. So where else are we at? We are at 10% heat. We're at 5% water. We are still trying to kind of fill up the huge lake. Oh, was that our RC Explorer that got that research? It might have been. That might have been what had the breakthrough there. Okay, fair enough. Low-grade metals over here. I'm so hell-bent on setting something up in this particular zone. It's so very tempting. I think we could try it. I think we're going to give it a shot, because I've never really messed around with building a dome kind of far away from my central area, my central infrastructure. So it would be a fun learning experience, I think. By fun, I mean, possibly ruin everything, but that's fine, that's fine. Also, I need to put down, I guess we don't have to, but we could put down our little, what is this thing called? It lets you cross over the dome. What am I thinking about? Where did it go? Oh, you know what? It was going to be under the dome tree because it was one of the ramps. Right. I'm going to put down a little ramp here, and that's going to let people cross over, especially when they land. They're going to be able to go right into the building instead of going around the side, which I guess doesn't really matter, but it would let drones get from point A to point B. Low storage, pretty much everything. Yeah, well, we get that. We don't really have a surplus of power right now, which is a bit of a bummer. Man, we need to get something better in terms of our energy. We have a mental breakdown. A colonist just snapped. I'm sorry, dude. What's your problems been? Working during the dark hours, and working outside of the dome. That's kind of rough. I thought we had all the... Oh! Well, you shouldn't be working outside the dome at night, though. Who's actually working a night shift? Was it... I can't find him now. Is there a way to sort our colonists by... There is. The sanity, right? Was it this guy here? This is the one who broke, I think. Oh, this colonist is a renegade. Renegades will cause trouble. I don't think I've ever spotted a renegade before. Very interesting. Was this because of the snap, or was this someone completely different? Huh. I would say cool, but it's not really. Oh, we have 2 renegades. Oh, you naughty, naughty people, you. I didn't realize we were going to have any renegades yet. You bunch of jerks. All right, well, that's interesting. I guess they do have really low sanity and stuff. We should probably take a look at some of the problems and why they're having so much trouble. So, you're pissed off because you've been working in the dark hours, visited infirmary in a different dome, well-rested, working during the dark hours. What was your shift? You're working as a medic in the infirmary, so do I need to have no one working at night? At all? Maybe we should try to do that so that we avoid anyone having to actually do the night shift. Okay, I'm going to go through and systematically remove any night shift jobs. Probably other than security, but do they not rotate around at all? How are the other folks handling it? Yeah, they're not really big fans of working at night either. I could put down another research lab, and that would open up some more slots for the daytime. And in fact, that's probably what I'm going to do. That way, we try to avoid having anyone work at night. So I will put down that as soon as I can find it, and I will try to kill some of those nighttime jobs. Okay, I've gone through and removed any night shift job. So that was my fault. I didn't realize that would be such a large deal here. So we also... Oh, wow, we finished our lake here. Nice, empty, sad lake. We finally were able to dig our lake up, so we were able to get that milestone for that. Plant a tree on the surface of Mars. We could try. I just don't think Aren't we going to have trouble if we try to do the... Where did that go? The seeding, or is that going to be... Are we going to be able to put down lichens, which kind of grow no matter what? The forestation plant, right. I don't know. You know what? We've got it here. Let's go ahead and just put one down. I have no idea if it's going to work or not. We'll put one down somewhere in this general vicinity off the power grid. Just for fun. I have no idea if it's going to be important or not, and I don't think... Oh, we actually need to finish hooking up the rest of our lake, rather, to the entire network. So, I'll extend the pipes over. This is so cool. I'm really excited to get to this part of terraforming. Now, I may not be ready for it. This might be a bit preemptive, but we're going to give it a shot. So that's there. We don't think we need water to this, right? Pretty much just the lake. We are going to need more water production, though. So I think we've got, let's see, one pulling water from here, which is the low source. We could grab... There's still quite a bit of water left here. We'll put down another water extractor. How much water does this actually extract? It's producing 5. So we're going to need a bit more. I guess I could put a couple around here. It shouldn't matter. It's just going to use the resource up faster, right? I think. The moisture evaporator only gives you 1. Okay, we'll put down 3. I might regret that at some point because I've, done something wrong with... energy usage or something weird, or maybe we're going to use up this resource, but it hopefully will give us what we need. Let's go ahead and do something like this. My piping's all a bit funky because I didn't quite get the angles right. There we go. It's a bit of a mess. We just won't look at it all that often. Okay, so that's taken care of, hopefully, with the water situation. I also need to probably link up power to those as well. So let me grab the power real fast. I'll take care of that. And then also, let's go back to our colonists and try to look at this problem of the sanity crazy. Can you reconvert a renegade away from being a renegade? Their performance is decreased by, their performance is decreased by 50, decreased, not discreased. And they can cause crime events when there are not enough security stations in the dome. Right. Well, I need to get on the ball about security stations. Luckily, we do have... Oh, no, you finally died. Let's go ahead and take this one down. We do have some new security officers in this current batch of people coming to Mars. Because I did start to think that maybe we might want to put down more of those security domes. A lot of you guys were recommending we put the security stations in to help with any sanity issues. So, I will put that in here. So the lake is going to start getting water. Got it. The forestation plant requires... Yeah, lichen... Okay, so maybe lichen is okay. Soil quality increased 20%. Improve local soil quality. They don't require soil quality to grow, but do not spread on their own. Curious. And they're going to need seeds, right? In the building's range. Harvesting is a low priority operation and is done by idling drones. We would have to export seeds from here. Isn't that how this works? Maybe I'm going to have to dedicate all this to seed crops and nothing else. We'll try it out for a bit. I still don't really know a lot about the seeds on the terraforming side of the house. We are getting there, though. That's pretty exciting. I'm going to add some supplemental power in a different location because I have had most of my power kind of in one little area, and I want to spread it out just a bit. So we're going to add a crap ton more large wind turbines. That is going to eat through some of our machine parts, but we are getting a crap ton more machine parts on the way right now. So... Or not on the way. I should say that they are going to be coming from the new machine part factory once that gets finished up. I'm about to run into a little bit of a power crisis, so I'm going to temporarily turn off my GHG factory because we are using up way too much power and we actually don't have anything left in the reserves. So we'll let the new wind turbines get constructed. Hopefully that'll be fast enough before we are out of batteries. I don't really know. I just set them all to high priority, but we don't have a ton of drones at some of these hubs. So I think I need to wind up getting the drone assembler faster or sooner than later to help us out with that.
Achieved.
Hooray, we've got 100 colonists, so we got 1,000 extra research, which gave us the adapted probes, I believe, which is going to let us do something fancy. Probes are cheaper and can deep scan. Cool. We also now can build Stirling generators with this technology if we research it. I think I'm going to grab this, plus printed electronics, plus... Well, I should probably reverse that. We'll get drone printing and then printed electronics. That way we're going to be able to use metal instead of electronics. That would save us a ton of materials. Now, this, I didn't realize this, but this fab, or this habitat here, is out of power because I don't think I ever actually connected it. So that's a bit awkward.
Colonists are suffering from
Somebody's suffering from hypothermia. Yeah, that's probably because we don't have any sort of power in there. That's fine. We hopefully will get that set before this person croaks. God, what a hot mess right now. Our power, I would say, is the power lines, are the power lines a high priority item? Gosh, we're really bad on power. Let's go ahead and turn a lot of our things off if we can. You don't actually use power. We'll go ahead and turn off some of our other items here. We'll turn off the rare metals extractor. We'll turn off the polymer factory for a minute. We've got both GHGs. Let's go ahead and turn off the fuel refineries too. We're so far behind right now on power. Let's go ahead and turn this off. There we go. That fixed the power situation, I believe. Now our dome actually does have power. Holy crap, this was using a ton of power. Good night. This uses 50 power at the machine parts factory. That is crazy. Well, because of that, let's go ahead and close down the old machine parts factory. Refugee crisis, your attention. Let's see. Recent political turmoil on Earth has driven many refugees to seek shelter as far as from the mother planet as possible. Accepting some refugees will generate both funding and good press. However, it's just that social transitions are never entirely smooth. So refugees are untrained for life on Mars. Interesting. And will initially have reduced work performance at all jobs. Some of them will have trouble adjusting to the Martian lifestyle and may become renegades. We could receive 10 or 30 refugees. We would get 200 million. Mars is not a place for untrained civilians. I think we can at least take in 10 refugees. Let's go ahead and do one. So they're on the way. We still have time to get space for them, but I believe we have plenty of space. I could have taken the 30. However, with as much negative mood as we have, I think I want to be a little bit safe on that note. We are going to be able to send Spirit of Man home back with a full load, so that's going to make us more money. We are at least making some decent money these days. Right, so you're going to be deconstructed, so that's going to free up more power. So we almost can turn the machine parts factory back on. I will wait until these new large wind turbines are completed, and we've got additional air supply coming in. Air supply? Energy supply. From the air. Yes, that's how it works. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I think we also need to get a pack. Can we do a package of drones only? Maybe that would be something we could use. Sending one cargo rocket would pretty much make us broke. Like, we don't even have enough space or money to afford to bring everything that we want to bring. We could bring... I think we also want to grab a electronics factory at some point, which is 600 million on its own. So that would break the bank. We could try to grab... Let's see. Let's grab a dozer. What about some supplies? Just a crap ton of drones? And that 15 drones and one RC dozer would make us break the bank and only fill up about half the rocket. So maybe let's save up for a bit more money. I feel like I have everything so tucked in here, so close together, that I might have pinched myself on some space, right? I could have probably spaced this out in order to land 2 rockets at the same time.
Scan.
Okay, for a second, I think we've got a minute to think and breathe. So let me go back to... We have 0 jobs needed. We actually have 16 people who are unemployed. Right. So I can probably start turning on buildings again. We finally have some graduates now, which is great. We have 9 engineers. So we're going to be crazy on engineers for a bit. We can turn on the machine parts factory. Let's go ahead and turn on the rare metals again. And we're out of energy. Okay, we'll wait for more power to come up. The water, I think, is frozen right now inside of our lake because the temperature's not quite warm enough. So that's good to know. I think we need to keep pushing the GHG factories for a bit. So are you going to need seed or no? You need a minimum soil quality of 0. You need 0.1 seed. Okay, so it's actually not going to use up every little bit of seed we have. That's kind of good to know. Cool. We also need to make... Don't we need to make a dedicated seed storage? Because there isn't one with the normal game. There we go. So, research... Oh, sorry, this is the advanced storage I think I clicked on. So let's grab a seed depot and put that probably roughly here. So that's going to be able to transfer out over to the forestation plant. Oh, hey, we're starting to get a little tiny, tiny bit of lichen on the ground. That's so cool. 0.01%. Hooray! We are getting there. There's green Mars right there, guys. That's it. We've done it. Let's wrap it up and go home. We've terraformed Mars. That's our little tiny patch of lichen. Okay, we have more space, so I think we're going to get another batch of colonists out here. We've got a celebrity. Generates funding when in high comfort. So let's grab our celebrity. I don't know if that's going to help us out or hinder us because I don't know if we have the high enough comfort level for them. I'm going to grab, let's see, we got a couple of officers on board. No officers yet, so let's grab a few more officers. I've got some gaps now in my security stations. Otherwise, we're grabbing 2 botanists, 1 engineer, a lot of no specializations, which is honestly okay. We have a lot of those random service buildings that need to be filled up right now. So I'm okay with bringing those folks aboard. We'll grab 1 more engineer, and we'll go ahead and launch the Spirit of Man too. So we've got the space for it. We should be able to fit both those folks and the refugees. Once we have another batch of colonists, I think we're going to be good for a minute, right? Until we get those larger domes in place, we should be really, really good. I'm really torn about this hill. I'm never going to stop talking about this damn plateau up here. But I think we're going to stick with the double barrel kind of a thing, the oval dome. Because that's going to get us 3 out of the 4 domes, or sorry, research bonuses, 50% boosted versus 45. I don't think we can fit everything in here, no matter how we slice it. There is a larger dome. There's like a mega dome, but you know, at some point I'd rather just try to build the thing rather than wait for technology that's going to be quite a while or quite a ways away. So if we put this down, yeah, it's too far from the drone commander. I know that. We'd have to put in the tunnel and try the tunnel system out. I'm really curious about it, though. I really want to give it a shot and just see how it do. Are you dead, too, because you're out of resources, or no? We've turned off this concrete extractor. Let's turn this back on. We are getting our... Okay, our power situation's back into where it needs to be, right? So I can probably turn on my GHV factory, maybe? Yeah, there we go. And the fuel production, and we should be back to a little bit closer to normal. That was pretty rough there for a minute. We lost a lot of power. We don't have any more geologists. Where did all the geologists go? Oh, it's been turned off. There we go. Okay, lots of job openings, but that's fine. We should get that taken care of in the next shift. We are finally getting people to get pushed through in the Martian University, so we're getting more and more people in the right jobs. So that is super, super exciting. Even with all the engineers we have, we're still short. That's crazy to me. I probably need to put down a security station in this dome as well, because we have, you know, residents living in here that are going to be possible pains in the butt. What about renegades? We have 0 renegades in this dome, thankfully, right now. A couple buildings have been turned off. That's fine, because we still need more people to move in there. And this is basically telling me that we are lacking certain people in the shift. We need some more researchers, surprisingly. To be fair, we do have quite a few research laboratories up and running right now. I kind of wish you could have one big research center just to have a ton more people on it. What are we doing for research per soul? We're getting 982. We're doing 582 of that here, which is great. Man, I really wish we had a genius. I really regret losing that poor guy. All right, let's take a look at some more sanity ratings, see if we're improving or making things worse. So, couldn't visit a medical facility. You're a hypochondriac. So you couldn't because of what? Your shift? Or you work at the rare metals extractor. I'm a little surprised that we don't have more. Do we have one in each dome? Oh, we have 2. Okay, at least we've got 2. So apparently we need more medics in here. How many overall medics do we have? We only have 4 medics. Wow, that was a slight oversight. Okay, well, we will try to get more medics on board. We are, again, short on power, as per the norm, it seems. Let me go ahead and put down another few large solar panels, so we don't keep using up the same expendable resource. I think all these need is metal for being constructed. So we're going to put down a massive line. Hopefully that'll help us refill our batteries during the day. We still have a ton of metal. Our RC transport needs to do something. So do we have any batches of surface metals just sitting around here? Surprisingly, not quite as many. There's some here. Okay, we'll do a load up order here and deliver order there. That should clean that up. How much power do you use? Barely any power, the forestation plant. That's actually really good. Let's go ahead and put down the second reforestation plant. If I could even hit the right button. Terraforming, forestation. Now, is this one of those things where we don't want to put this closer to another one of the same machine, right? We'll probably want to put it away from it, like somewhere over here, maybe? Let's just tuck it right in the middle. I have no idea if that's how we're supposed to do it or not, but hey, it'll be a good learning experience. This poor lake is completely frozen solid. Do we want to try to put down another GHG factory? We could build one. It would consume 10 more electricity rather is the word, and it would take more fuel. We are rocking on fuel though. Nothing says we can't put down more fuel refineries either.
Are low.
I wonder if I should probably look at redesigning my layout at some point in the future. Like we could try to maybe have a wind farm in one particular area. Like maybe even if we move up to, if we put something up here, we could have a massive wind farm, but we'd have to wind up having parts to repair it, right? So we'd wind up, we would need to deliver machine parts in order to get the repairs up on the plateau. We also could smooth this down, I think, for a ramp. That's something new that you're able to do. You can wind up having, yeah, you can wind up having a ramp here. And I watched someone stream, I think I watched Quill. He is able to run certain things up the hills, like the piping system or the electronics. So that is possible. Not that we need that for what we're trying to do, but we could do... How far do you extend? You extend all the way out here. I'm trying to think if it would be beneficial to put a tunnel there or something else. So a tunnel here could go all the way up to here. So maybe that's what we should do. How much of a bonus would we get for putting our wind turbines up top? A 20% elevation boost. So 20% times 10, I think, right? So we would get an extra 2 energy each time. Which would, you know, again, it's all working towards reducing your overall cost, because even if we get 2 extra energy per solar panel, that's eventually, or sorry, per wind turbine, that's going to eventually, you know, every 5 turbines, that's going to save us 1 additional turbine. So it could be useful, especially thinking long term. Is that the highest point here as well? I think so. That's the highest plateau we've got in our area. Our refugees have arrived. Let's go ahead and put them down. Please don't get squished. Tiny little drone. Yep, low materials, we got that part. At least we're going up in polymers now, though. We're not completely low on polymers. Yeah, you're going to need seeds. We know that. It's going to take us a while to get that. Do we actually need seeds for you? Yeah, you only use 0.1 seed, while grass would use 0.1 as well. But it requires a certain level of water and heat to be able to grow. Are there any special missions that let us raise the temperature overall? This would be a 1%. This would be 5% water. This would just cause an earthquake. Here's another SETI mission, right? 400. Oh, high-speed comm satellite would give us... Oh, this is 400 flat research. Ah, I would love to do this. 400 research, 100 electronics. Are we finally in the positive for electronics every day? Almost. We're barely in the positive. Hopefully this next batch of people coming in, not this one, but the one after it, is going to help fill the gap. So, 100 metals we could do. It would put us at a kind of a crunch for metals. Although we still have a ton of surface metals lying around here and there, so maybe we wouldn't be that bad off. I don't know, I'm kind of torn. I would love to try that out. 400 research would be a huge, huge bonus for us. And a lot of the items that we have now are starting to scale much higher into the research cost, right? The problem is we'd have to probably send 2 supply pods.
New colonists have arrived.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to work out in our favor. We'll save it. Maybe we'll be able to do that someday down the road. Welcome back, Spirit of Mars 2, my friends. Loaded up with brand new people. You want... Hello, you want some... Oh, no, absolutely not. We are not going to be sending you any kind of machine parts. Right, so we're going to grab 22 more colonists here. We are about 28 jobs short, so this is going to help us out immensely. Also, are we having lots of kids here? I haven't really paid attention to how many children are being born. We've got 7 vacant nursery slots, which makes me think that we don't have all that many children right now, but that's still pretty exciting. Here is our Homer Jr., one of our celebrity people who's going to have a rough time, because honestly, my comfort level for most people is not that high. So I am starting to add some more service buildings. I've noticed that when I look at, all the complaints and whatnot, people aren't able to get their shopping in. They're not able to get their gambling in. So I am trying to open up more shopping and service buildings. I have put down a casino. It's going to take a little bit of time for that to get completed. And then another space bar, because some people were complaining that they weren't able to get their drinking and relaxation on. So with those additions, I'm hoping that we're going to get this a little bit better off in terms of how people are, how pleased they are with living in their dome. I kind of miss the idea. I really probably should work on getting some spires at some point too, but I really like the idea of keeping them all in one specialized dome, like one residential dome. Do we just never bring any, what would you call that? We never bring any loners, and we might be okay. Oh, I don't need to have this universal depot, by the way. I don't know why I put that depot down there. I think I was testing transferring materials at some point. We'll take that away just to make sure we don't actually use it for any reason. We should be getting some seeds out here at some point, too. I feel like the seed crop, how much seed do you have? You've got 1.4 at this one, but this one doesn't have any. So, I don't know, would we make this a high priority or something like that? Maybe it'll be able to grab some more down the road. Alright, where else are we? We are finally over on power, so these are completely kicking in now. We're low on a couple of our resources. Yeah, machine parts and polymers, we know that part. But with the addition of the new shift, we should be pumping out quite a few polymers every day. Electronics is still pretty low. I do have a lot of these buildings put as high priority, so I probably should try to reset that at some point as well, just to kind of even things out. I might have more botanists than I need, actually, come to think about it. How many botanists do we have? We have 15 botanists, so we have a lot of unemployed botanists at the moment. How has our food production been? I've not really checked on that in some time. We're hovering around the 80 and 90s, which is good. So let's take a look at the food graph. It's still kind of hard to see, but we have been getting... We're consuming about 21 every day. So we're consuming about 20 every day, but then every 4 or 5 days we get about 60. So we're a little bit short according to that math. So we might need to put down another farm. I could try to put down the outdoor fungal farm, which would piss some people off because they would have to work outside. And I'm getting a little bit tight on space, and I try to have most of my domes have some kind of living space in it. Do we want to start looking at the large cost of putting down the oval dome and trying to get some people moved into the oval dome, or do we want to continue on with the idea of moving people up here to the research dome? Uncertain. I do love the idea of having all these domes around a lake, though. I think that'd be kind of cool. And a large oval dome would help us out as well, because we're going to be able to get a lot more buildings in there. We could try to almost pinch them together, have one here and basically one over here, if we wanted to. 150, or was it just 50 polymers? 100 polymers, so that would be a crap ton of polymers needed. I'll do a little bit more digging. And remember, I'm waffling pretty hardcore on whether or not to put this tunnel out to the research. I'm trying to figure out if it's going to be worth it. And honestly, if we wind up moving all of our researchers over to one dome, that would give us a pretty huge research increase. And we have a lot of technologies to go. Look how many technologies are still left. So it would definitely be worth it, I believe. The Spirit of Man is ready to go. Do we have any missions that the Spirit of Man could go on? We've got resources here. Breakthrough, resources. This is a SETI mission, right? This would be 1.7 billion, which would be kind of a nice boost. 30 electronics. We would be able to pretty much send in any electronics we need. Do we want to try that out? An easy peasy 1.7 bill. We've got the fuel. We've got the metals for it. How much could we send ourselves in electronics? 25 electronics. So that would put us over the required amount. 1.7 would then let us bring in a massive cargo rocket with any modules we might need, a ton of drone supplies, because we're really short, I think, on drones. A lot of our drones have a heavy load right now. Why don't we try it out? Let's do that. I will go ahead and queue up a supply drone, or supply pod, with nothing but electronics in it. We'll launch that bad boy. It's going to cost, you know, $500 million to send that, but at a trade of $1.7 billion in profit, I think it's going to be worth it. So, thank you all for joining me. I'll put a cut in here, and we'll come back next time. Thank you so much for your time, and until then, take care.